Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second episode of the WDL recap. We are in Season 3, Week 2. This week, Jay is out at a concert, so I am joined by Mr. BlueScheep of back-to-back season fame. How's it going, buddy?
Going great.
So we actually played this week. So normally what I wanted to do is I would have had Jay and I just talk about our games and how we're feeling. We actually had a banger game. I think everybody was pretty happy with our game. It was definitely the most fun game of Mons I've played in a while. Really, really fucking close. How you feeling about your games so far?
I mean, first game, we'll talk about it. Second game was a little shaky. Could have definitely lost it, but it worked out. So I will chalk that up as a win and not look back.
I feel the same. I prepped like a complete goldfish for my game, but I think I played tight. I played towards my win condition. Ended up getting my Greninja in at a pivotal time, and it just ended the game with Battle Bond. Absolutely insane ability. I don't know how that shit exists. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I just want to start. Let's talk about your team first. So, how are you feeling about your team overall this season?
So the first 5 months I drafted, pretty simple, right? Coco, Treads, Moth,
yeah, actually,
Blastoise, Mega, and Hawlucha.
I'm gonna grab your team. I'm gonna pull your team up for everybody to see.
Just abusing electric terrain. Blastoise obviously having access to Terrain Pulse, which then turns into an electric move and gets boosted by Mega Launcher.
That kind of funny. So cool. It's so cool.
I wonder if it's actually gonna work once this season or not, but it is cool.
I think it will.
Also, it's just kind of funny because in Season 2, obviously, also had Blastoise, and Blastoise is absolutely him. Getting to use Mega Blastoise now feels good. Does have some juicy stats to work with.
Jay put me on this mon a little bit ago just as like a glue piece. You know, you just run like spin, you run flip turn, and you're happy with it every week, and it feels great.
Yes, literally. That's it. That's all you need.
Like, your ass does not care about the Shell Smash ban because your ass was running spin, flip turn every week anyways.
Yeah, and you also still have 135 special attacks, so...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so for those listening,
just a joy to use.
Tapu Koko, Iron Treads, a Terra Iron Moth, Blastoise Mega, Hawlucha, Guzzlord, Uxie, Porygon 2, and Aromatisse. Now, this was not your original team. This was not the team that I played against. Your original team had, correct me if I'm wrong, you had a Ogerpon, and you had... Am I going to get there? What else did you have? I'm forgetting, sorry.
It was very important.
Yeah, we get to very important mon. That's why you're... Oh, Meowstick. And you split, split up the points from Meowstick and Ogerpon, and you grabbed...
Yeah. I grabbed Uxie and Aromatisse. Yes.
So how are you feeling about the change? I was a big proponent of getting you Uxie.
Well, I'm a little sad Ogerpon is gone, but it does make sense to drop it. Uxie, I am not bringing next... Wait, I can't say that. Fuck. Anyways. I'm not sure when I will bring it.
Oh, no. It's fine. Nobody listens to this.
He won't listen.
Nobody listens to this. It's fine. Who are you playing against next week?
Mr. Sai, Shadow Tag, Porygon.
He won't listen. He definitely does not have like a bunch of
he does not care.
Yeah, definitely doesn't have a bunch of free time at work where he'll listen to this, or like on a commute maybe. No, he won't listen to this. No.
Anyways.
Shout out, Sai. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah. Well, that's just like a Crocodile, Cleavor. I'm not leading Uxie into Cleavor. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Yeah.
I like that you've got a cleric for Guzzlord.
We get there. Yeah, the Coco Treads Moth obviously abusing electric terrain. Blastoise doing it as well. Halucha doing it as well. Halucha is cool.
Really is. It's like Sneasler but based.
It just hits like everything.
Mm-hmm. Coverage is crazy.
Didn't hit your team, which is why I didn't bring it.
Mm-hmm. It also like really wants
Specifically,
SD, right?
like Mudsdale and the long neck guy.
Yeah, Molding Throat. We'll get there as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and also your bug.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda annoying.
Arachnid? Well, you can flying move it.
Yeah, but you can sash and just bobble me.
Yeah, fair enough. But you have a really good rocker.
Exactly. And then Porygon 2, I just pick because it's very bulky and I love it.
It's a very Umon. Now you're out of Natdex or Paldeadex prison and you get to use useful Porygon with like teleport and toxic and shit. This is a very Umon. I'm glad you got it.
I think at first, like, actually used it in a casual Pokemon playthrough years ago. And then I also used it in a, what is it called? Voltage White 2? Is that what it's called?
Vintage White?
Vintage? Okay.
That's the old one, Peachel. The one Peachel.
That's the Drayano one. I forgot what it's called.
Is it? Volt
Anyways,
White.
it carried me. Yeah, it carried me. Mm-hmm. So, because it got hit by nothing and it just kept clicking recover. It was great. And so I want to do the same this season. Kind of worked so far.
Yeah.
It also died twice, so maybe it didn't work so far, but it definitely just clicks toxic, and that's very nice.
Yeah, right. Like you're clicking toxic, you're clicking teleport, you're clicking recover. You have really good coverage.
Technically has trick room as well, but
yeah,
foul play.
Foul play is a big deal on a mod like this. It means you can't just get like SD'd on. Use foul play.
True.
Yeah. I like that you have like an offensive game plan with a backbone you can fall back on.
Yeah, Mega Blastoise and Porygon.
I really hate when people draft like electric terrain and they just like completely die if they fall behind on tempo.
Yeah, if your terrain setter dies. Which happened to me last game. I had Koku die and I did not get Halucha in time. Not great. It does work still, but yeah.
Not ideal. So how are you feeling? Anything you'd change? Anything you would want to... Because we've got our grace period ending.
I'm not that happy with Uxie and Aromatisse, but I don't think there's anything better because we thought about it long and hard.
Yeah, we tried.
It's definitely not bad.
I don't think you're getting anything better without dropping Guzzlord, and also Florges did get drafted. Did get picked up after, so I don't think you're getting...
The biggest problem was that draft was happening while I was still preparing for the finals. Of last season.
Yeah.
So I had a
which is nobody's fault.
No.
It's just wild that it happened
a short
like
time.
That.
Yeah, we should have just done it sooner, obviously. It was a short prep time, so I saw like whatever came to me, and it was Coco, and I was like, yeah, I'm feeling a Coco team, and then I like pretty safely drafted Treads after. And then I also drafted Moth Terra because that's just good.
Those three together are just like a great start to a terrain team.
Yeah. Then I drafted Blastoise Mega because that's just a cool mon. I was not aware of Terrain Pulse at the time.
I think it's still fine. Honestly.
Yeah, it was still really good.
Yeah, you're not always going to run Terrain Pulse anyways. It's just a good mon.
And then since Lucha was still up, I thought, why not? That just fits perfectly. And then I've drafted Porygon too, or like wanted to at least. I think I drafted Guzzlord instead. Guzzlord is definitely a mon, and it has a big HP stat, and that makes it very funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sold on this guy on your team, but he's pretty good.
It clicks knockoff, and I think that's what I mainly wanted.
Fair enough. Like a defensive back.
And then I also noticed that I'm not very weak into fairy types, so I just picked something that was weak to fairy.
Yeah.
I did not
don't
think
hate that,
about it
honestly.
more than that, I think. That was like almost it. I wanted to pick something cheap that's kind of weak to fairy and does something that I need, so I just picked Guzzlord.
Fairy based. Hey, no one will be able to look at Guzzlord and tell you weren't based for picking it.
Then I got like sniped on 2 picks overnight, so I like
A lot of
thought
people are
even
saying
less
the
about
same.
those last picks.
Apparently, a ton of people got sniped a bunch.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was.
I mean, Iron Hands, maybe? Looks like Kev took
No.
Iron Hands from you.
It was
Iron
something really
Bundle?
stupid that shouldn't have been picked this early. So I'm looking at it right now, but
Was it Mara taking Sneeze?
maybe it was dropped by now, actually.
Who knows?
I think it's been dropped by now.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Any closing thoughts on your team? Anything you're not?
Very
You said you're not
solid,
going to make
very
changes.
unusual playstyle for me.
Yeah, you're a much more defensive
Because
player
this is
than
pretty
than
offensive.
this. Yeah. I think you're much more
And
likely to play a team like mine. Honestly.
I'm very balanced usually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your team is also like kind of offensive by now.
By now, yeah. I'm trying to find a balance. I think so. My original team was Greninja, Victini. I had Raging Bolt. I had, and I had like a bunch of cheaper defensive mons. It was like Corviknight and then like a bunch of cheaper defensive stuff like Araquanid and Mudsdale. And it felt like the entire offense of the team was wrapped up in Raging Bolt, Greninja, and my Terra Victini. I've made some changes since, and I now have Greninja Victini still. I have Rillaboom, Zygarde, that's Zygarde 50, Vaporeon, Whimsicott, Nihilego, Skarmory, and Munchlax. And I'm pretty happy with the team so far. I haven't gotten to play any games with it yet, because I've played both my games. But I made these changes in our second grace, and I'm pretty happy with them. I think the team is going to be a lot of fun to play with. I'm realizing I'm like a bulky offense player, I believe. So I'm trying some ones out I
I
haven't
think
played
that
with
checks
before.
out, yeah.
And this looks very comfy to play with for me. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Does Skarmory get defog in that dex?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, so Skarm and Whimsicott have defog. I don't have any spinners, but I was looking and I was finding it really hard to find like a spinner that wasn't just going to be some shit
I
mon.
mean, to be fair, you don't really have the most hazard setup potential anyway, so it's fine if you defog.
Yeah. Well, I have Nihi and Skarmory, and even Greninja.
I don't think Nihi ever sets up Toxic Spike, right?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, sure, why not? But it's weird.
It also just rocks.
Yeah, Nihilego is such a cool mon.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play with it. Been looking to play with it for a while because I've enjoyed Greninja. And
Absolutely
not Greninja,
meteor beaming someone. I can't wait to watch.
So I'm really excited for my team. A lot of like fat mons and a lot of versatile mons. I'm looking forward to it.
It definitely looks very fun to use.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason why you specifically chose Zygarde?
Yeah, I was struggling a lot with finding a ground I wanted to draft and finding a dragon I wanted to draft. And with just among what was left when I was making changes. And so I ended up just deciding that like I would rather just go with like paying a premium and going with Zygarde. Because I really I don't know if it must be weird, it must be me, but I don't mess with a lot of grounds. I don't enjoy playing with like a lot of
There's not a lot of good grounds, and the thing is, if you pick like a Sandaconda for your ground type,
it just doesn't cut it. I found.
I mean, it's there, but it's not that great, and then it like dies to pretty stupid
and finding stuff that
and then
matched up
you
with
don't feel
speed
great.
tiers too, right? Like I was locked out of
Yeah,
certain
absolutely.
dragons just because they were like speed tying Rillaboom or speed tying Victini, stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with what I've got. Yeah.
The only issue I see in your team is the Munchlax, obviously, but that's just because the rest of the team is so expensive.
I don't even think
Makes
it's
it easier
horrible
to prep against, but still you have like Ren and Victini, which are really annoying to prep for.
Yeah.
So there's still enough
Like Munchlax is a bringable
variance.
mon.
It's not that
like you can just bring this anyone with a good ghost.
Which
have you seen Munchlax's
that
stats?
kind of
Hello? Sheep? He die.
Who knows?
Oh. Hello? You there?
Small DC. Yeah, it's all fine.
Okay. Alright, we're back. We're good. Munchlax is like a bringable mon, dude. This guy has like pretty fine stats.
Yeah, for being a baby Pokemon, I think he has the best stats out of all of them.
Yeah. 135 HP, 85 SPDF, 40 defense, 85 attack, and you get an Eevee-Light. It has thick fat.
What 5 speed does to someone.
Deeply unserious speed stat of 5.
It's probably the lowest in the game, right? I would be surprised if it isn't.
Yeah. Surely it's the lowest. I think it's fine though. Like, of all the 1 and 2 pointers, like you're not gonna get a mon you can bring every week anyways. But I was pretty happy with how versatile the mons I drafted were, and Munchlax is like fine. Like we have Spectrier banned, but this mon like fist fights Spectrier, right? So any like analogous ghost type, I'm pretty happy to bring this.
Could have drafted Double instead. Shaking my head.
True. Smoge. Should have drafted Double. But yeah, we
I was looking at it, but I couldn't make it fit. Very sad.
You should have made it fit. You drafted a Guzzlord. You could have fit.
That's what I get for picking Porygon and Guzzlord. I'm just too fighting weak to pick another normal type.
Yeah, that's pretty true. You could have just not drafted those mons and drafted Double if you cared enough about Double.
Yeah, but what if the Guzzlord just pops off and becomes kid leader, huh? Then what?
I don't know, man. What if you find $1 million on the street? What do you want me to say to that?
What if?
Okay. All right.
Looking at the kill leader chart, though, now that I bring it up.
Yeah, let's take a look at the kill leader chart.
Sitting calmly on top of it with 7 kills and 0 deaths.
Yeah, we've got our top 10. I'll read out. We've got Greninja, 2 games played, 7-0. Celesteela, 2 games played, 7-1. Darmanitan, that's Happy's Celesteela. We've got Jay's Darmanitan at 2-5-1. And then the remaining 8 are Pelipper at 2-5-1, Victini 2-5-2. Iron Moth, 2 games played, 4 kills, 2 deaths. Blacephalon, 1 game, 3-0. Cresselia, 1 game, 3-0. Iron Bundle, 1 game, 3-1. And Mega Absol, 2 games, 3-1. So we definitely have like a top 5 of hella kill leaders. Mine is a little imbalanced because the only mons that got kills in my first 2 games were Greninja and Victini. So,
to be fair, if that's just how it is, that's how it is.
I think that's just the style I enjoy playing. Honestly, I really enjoyed it in both my games.
If you look at the kill leaderboard for season 2, like I've 4 mons that got kills. One of them being Blastoise.
Yeah.
It was pretty simple.
I like that style though, right? Like you get things low, you force progress, and you have something that ends the game.
Clean it up.
Yeah, I really enjoy that style. So, yeah, and
yeah. Last season I had Latias in second with 19-2, Lando T in 6th with 16-4, Then Sama in 11th with 11 and 4. And then that's kind of it. Blastoise with just 6 and 4, but like nothing else really got kills.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, the rest of
they
your team
didn't
was
need
just
to.
enabling those.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. And then for our teams, if we want to look at teams.
The honorable mention, Galarian Weezing, 7 games, 0 and 4. But he was so useful.
That's the story of your like defensive mon like that though, right? Like
Exactly.
the guy's never gonna be on any kind of scoreboard, but he's actually just
hero.
the MVP of your team. I feel like that was a lot of my mons. Had like Treads and Melodic, Mandibuzz. Not Melodic, Dreamerina. Or like Deoxys. I wasn't really using that mon to its full potential, but
Deoxys speed, yeah.
It puts in work.
Very
that mon's
cool
crazy.
mon.
I wish I'd been more creative with building with it.
All the like really fast mons have the advantage of just getting a bunch of HP IVs, but
Yeah,
so fast.
exactly.
I'm noticing it with Tapu Koko
like
now.
Scarfers and still have like max HP. Yeah, I have hated drafting like whenever my drafts don't have like a premier speed mon.
Mm-hmm. There like needs to be one fast guy, that's for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. Something at like 120 or higher. I just hate when my drafts don't have it. So I made sure I've got Greninja this season, which I had in our first season. So I'm really excited to run it back. And it has already, in like 2 games, performed better than it had.
Oh yeah, you had like Greninja and Meow in your first season.
Yeah, my first season team was ass, man. But it was literally the first
that
team I ever
was so
drafted.
weird, and I still lost to it, so hey.
Speaking of you losing to my Greninja, we should go through our nominations. Insane!
Sure.
Insane segue. Insane pivot. We should talk about our game.
Let's talk about our game.
Yeah. How do you? So for those who don't know, I will have the I'll have the game linked as well. Wherever you're listening to this, I'll have the game linked, so you can go and watch it. But I ended up winning the game, I believe 2-0, correct? I had Greninja and I had something else left over.
No, it was 1-0 because you sacked the Raquanid for
right.
I think no reason at all.
No, because I was choiced. I needed to Saxlink to switch.
Oh yeah. You were choiced into a water move.
Yeah, I was choiced into a water move to kill your Treads, and then I needed to sack something to go to Gren. So I could
you're spoiling.
Fairies. We're talking about the game. It was like a week ago. Okay. Anyone who hasn't watched it by now doesn't care.
Fair.
Yeah, I had to choice myself into a water move to kill the Iron Treads, and then I needed to sack something so I could come back in, choice myself into Sludge, and then kill the fairies. This thing gets Sludge Wave now, man. In most recent DLC, that shit's crazy. Huge buff for Greninja. Yeah, really close
absolutely.
back and forth game we played. I was pretty happy with how I played. I feel like I got good like progress on you. I got the Toxic off on the Porygon. I got some good knockoffs off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how did you feel about the game?
But I guess let's start with like the team building ideas, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So Greninja obviously very scary. Araquanid surprisingly scary. That's just a scary mon.
It is
crazy.
Damage.
And Terra Victini, I didn't even like know what it could click. There's just so many moves. And then obviously grassy terrain being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very scary.
Interfering with your electric terrain as well. Making
exactly. I wasn't sure how that was gonna work out. So I didn't want to like overcommit into the electric terrain as well.
Mm-hmm.
Partly why I didn't bring Halucha. Halucha also didn't have like the greatest matchup. There was a few things that could wall it here, I think. And yeah, so I didn't bring it. I instead brought the Guzzlord himself. Why did I bring it?
I actually like the bring.
Because because the dragon typing.
Yeah, resisting both
all of your water, electric, and grass and water types, yeah.
you block Victini pretty well, right? Victini wants to click V create and it wants to click Bolt Strike on most sets.
And if it happens to Terra Fairy, then I have Iron Moth.
But also, like, I considered Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam, but it is not that much damage. It actually doesn't.
It really isn't.
Like, it's 4 times effective. I get stab off Terra, but it's still like an 80 power move coming off 100 attack. That shit did not kill you. Guzzlord was too tanky for it. So I like the bring for sure.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I ended up running Dazzling Gleam Terra Fairy on Iron Moth. Mainly to get rid of Mr. Raging Bolt, exactly.
Like Shamon's Raging Bolt.
And Raging Bolt I was very scared of.
Yeah.
Because last season I played against JSauce. He had a Terra obviously, which was worse, but then he Terra watered. I didn't have anything to hit it super effectively. It was a struggle.
Yeah.
It just was a struggle.
Yeah.
And then like a week ago, I don't know, I watched you play against the Raging Bolt, which was also Terra Water, and you also didn't have anything to hit it, and you also got run over.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a reason we have a Terra, man. I think it's one of the best Terra.
Wanted to avoid that.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared enough of the grassy terrain to run like Earth Power on treads, because I can just cancel the grassy.
High horsepower?
Maybe. Probably not. Let me check.
I think that probably would have been what you bring, but...
It does, okay. But I didn't bring it anyways. I mean, I brought it, but I brought Earthquake instead. So I was covered against Raging Bolt. I wasn't too scared about the horse, because I just have so many special attackers.
It's not like a particularly strong Mon either, right?
Yeah.
I just wasn't quick rocks.
That scared of Philaboom either. But it was annoying.
Yeah, I was on AV into you and I was pretty happy with it. Just absolutely taking hits and clicking moves.
For Rock Run it, I mainly plan to just have Blastoise face tank it, have Porygon like Toxic it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that kind of worked out.
Mm-hmm.
The actually interesting parts.
Honestly.
The actually interesting parts of my teams were Air Balloon on Iron Moth, because I didn't need to boost the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up acting really as a heavy duty boots. And it worked really well.
Yeah, Air Balloon was really annoying.
And I think, did you have like Scorching Sands on Victini?
Not this week, no.
Okay.
You're thinking of my second week's game, which I think I am going to get into next week. I think I want to do these a week behind.
And then I also had Okaberry on Iron Treads,
I think
so
I was
less damage from fire attacks.
Aka on Treads, yeah. I think you kind of have
I was wondering if I should go Shuka instead, but no.
Nah, I like Aka.
Yeah. Just to get like one hit on Victini, which...
And like you
because it's base 100, didn't actually do that much, sadly, but...
That was max
also,
HP.
outspeeding it is just very nice. So I can outspeed and hit you, live the hit, and then hit you again.
Like, I noticed I couldn't really outspeed anything, basically, with Victini, so I was max HP AV. Full special attack modest. But I like Aka
I had
on the
rocks,
Treads.
which I don't think I clicked ever. No, I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
But, like, I think you have to protect the Treads, because if Treads goes down, there's a decent chance Raging Bolt sets up and kills your whole team, right? Especially if you're giving it electric terrain.
Yeah.
Because for a while, I don't remember if I was on it or not, but for a while I was at least planning to bring Rising Voltage into you. Which is
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the electric move. That does double damage against targets on electric terrain. Or a double power, rather, so it's 140 power.
I really want to bring a Steel Roller on Iron Treads
one day. Steel Roller is so based. It's so based.
Can you imagine just Volt switching into Treads, getting the boost, and then clicking Steel Roller?
Oh,
it does kill. It does kill.
Such a based move. It removes your terrain, though.
Yeah, but who needs terrain anyways if you just kill?
They're dead. Do you know if it removes terrain before or after the move goes off? Like if
That's
you
a great question.
like, do you keep
So
proto
if I still
attack?
have to boost you,
Yeah.
that's a great question.
Surely you keep proto attack for
I mean, I can still run
like the damage of the move.
Something I wondered was if it's worth running booster even though I have terrain. And I noticed 5 turns of terrain really isn't that much. Like I had terrain run out on my like Iron Moth sweep a bunch.
Yeah.
So probably just gonna run booster anyway on it in the future, just so I can keep going after the terrain is gone.
Well, like you can run like a choice item if you want that too, right? Or you can run like a damage
Or that,
item.
yeah.
The weirdest thing is like most of the time I feel like you'll be terrain extender on Coco, but you're not really allowed to be terrain extender into opposing terrain.
Yeah, last time I was screened, so I can't really extend my terrain that well if I have screens up.
Mm-hmm. You have to choose which one you want up for 8 turns.
Yeah. But if I don't have to rely on like boots or anything, I can definitely go extender.
Mm-hmm.
This game, however, I went boots, and it turns out against the Arachnid, good idea.
Yeah, for real. Webs felt great. Arachnid is one of the only mons I like webs on in draft. I feel like a lot of mons, like webs, are pretty fraudulent, but I'm a big fan of Arachnid.
I mean, if you just webs and then die, it works, but you one mon down for webs, which can just get removed in a draft setting, that is just not that great.
Yeah. Like, your opponent knows they're coming, so they can also just be on boots on important mons. And also, like, it's a water type. It beats all the ground type spinners. Just, like, by default.
Yeah.
Which is not
and it, like,
what a lot of
beats
bugs
fire
can
types
say.
extra hard.
Yep.
It just doesn't have many switch-ins either. And then you can also run just Surf or Hydro Pump instead of Water Bubble or whatever it's called, not at stability. You just click Liquidation, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
your stats are so low and a lot of your damage is wrapped up in the ability that you can be physical or special depending on what you need. You can be special for
so
Skull,
it's like,
you can be like for the burns.
Really hard to prep for.
Yeah. For its price,
because you can't just stack defense, and then it just hits you with a Surf and you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also why Blasters is so nice with its base 120 and base 115 defenses. Yeah.
Arak is definitely
Last season, I remember I used Weezing, Galarian Weezing with the ability removing thing. Neutralizing gas.
Yeah.
So I could get rid of the boost, but then also tank both hits pretty well. It's also let me burn it, which is really funny, but that just goes away once you switch out, so it wasn't that great.
Like, neutralizing gas does so much.
Yeah.
You don't think about it.
Yeah, that's kind of it for my team.
Mm-hmm.
Ran Toxic on Porygon, obviously, with Discharge and Ice Beam, because why not?
Mm-hmm. Recover. Yep. Were you recover or were you teleport? You were recover, right?
I was recover, yeah. But I have noticed being so slow doesn't let you click recover that much, so I might just not bring it next time and see what happens.
Well, yeah, that's like something to play around with. I think it's still good if like your opponent has to switch out to kill you, like if it comes in on another turn.
I mean, it's also good against like very slow walls.
And like passive mons.
So looking at next week, there's an Aboliva on the field, right, that's gonna terror on me. If I just Toxic that and just keep clicking recover, I don't see how that could go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, yeah, passive mons that it really takes advantage of. Because it's also kind of like equally somewhat passive. Not as passive, but it can be.
When that download boost hits.
I'd better see it at some point. Some kind of offensive Porygon.
Yeah, I ran Analytic, which I don't think mattered.
I think it's what you usually run though, right?
Last week I was on Trace, because I could trace some funny things.
That's pretty cool. 3 great abilities on that mod, honestly.
Yeah, very cool.
For my half of our matchup, I was Scarf Gren, so I could outspeed Coco, and outspeed Booster Moth, like Booster Speed Moth, and Treads. which ultimately means that Gren does negative damage. Because I was like Timid Scarf. So I don't love that, but it worked out.
Worked out really well.
I think I was Boots Arachnid, but I mostly just wanted Arachnid to spread Toxic and set up webs. So getting like the Toxic off on your Porygon and your Toys was really, really important. Mudstyle came because it could click Stealth Rock and die. It clicked Stealth Rock and died. So that was great. Really glad that's all it did in 2 weeks, and now I'm drafting Zygarde instead. And I was... Do you remember what Terra I was on Victini? I believe I was Fire, right?
Fire, yeah.
Yeah, I was Special. So I was on Blue Flare, and I was on... Mostly just Blue Flare, honestly, was like pretty much all I was clicking. I was on...
I think it's all you clicked. And I was like, Blue Flare. I don't even know how much base power that had, so I had to look it up.
130. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, great.
And then I was on U-Turn and a couple other coverage moves. I think I was either Energy Ball or T-Bolt plus Dazzling Gleam for the Lord.
Yeah, you T-bolted my Blastoise once, which like killed it almost.
Yeah. And then AV Rillaboom was an absolute house. Love that set. I was very highly like defensively invested too, I believe. Because I had to be into stuff like Coco and Moth especially.
I'm a big fan of just running AV on mons that can use it.
Yeah, anything with like a decent enough HP stat, you just slap an AV on.
And a good defensive stat, yeah. Treads could have run it as well, but...
Yeah, I love AV Treads.
What did I run instead? Oka.
You're in
yeah,
Oka.
I mean...
Because like,
yeah.
You don't know if I'm clicking V Create or Blue Flare. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. The team... Like, I wasn't super comfortable with some of the mons I was playing with, just because, like, I don't know, like, the defensive mons I was on just weren't very high quality. But I was struggling for a little bit with the team, like, figuring out what I wanted to do with it. So I'm glad that after the first couple weeks, I now have a team I'm a lot more comfortable on. I'm excited to play with it. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the matchup?
I mean, we can talk a little about what happened. Skipping through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Protect and Guzzlord to get more leftovers recovery, but then you knocked me off like really soon.
Yeah. I mean, it still ended up killing. You protected in front of my horse, and well, it was Toxic, and that did some pretty good work.
And then Guzzlord coming in on the Araquanid, tanking the Hydro Pump, crit, and taking 19%.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
At that point, I was like, yep, good pick. Keeping him. Because I was going to drop him, but then I kept him. Yeah, that was just amazing, really. And I did 13% in return, yeah. And I couldn't click Taunt because it doesn't get Taunt as a Dark type. I mean,
it gets like nothing.
It's corrosive gas to remove the items of your teammates. What do you mean?
It removes enemies. It's like knockoff, but it does no damage.
Yeah. Great. Love it.
Yeah, but you're
I don't know why this doesn't get Taunt. I mean, of course it has
helmet.
like 43 speed, but like, please just give me Taunt. What?
Give it anything. Give it rocks.
Yeah, it doesn't get rocks either.
Yeah.
Really hard to make a case for it, but at least it gets Toxic. But I mean, everything gets Toxic, so...
Yeah.
Toxic and knockoff, that's like its thing. And
it doesn't get any recovery,
not heat,
right?
weight-based moves.
Weight-based moves.
Heat Crash and Heavy Slam.
I noticed you were running that shit. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was on Heat Crash for Rillaboom.
How much does it weigh?
Guzzlord?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, no.
I need to look it up, but...
Let's hear it.
It is, for us European folks, 888 kilograms, which is 1.9 thousand LBS.
LBS?
I don't know what that is,
Pounds.
Gotta be honest.
I'm with you on the kilogram side, though. I'm Canadian. That is a big boy.
I think it's one of the heaviest ones.
Yeah, I mean, gouging fire is pretty heavy too, right? Because that thing's heat crashes are like always 120. Guy weighs like 1,000 pounds. Yeah,
List of Pokemon by weight. Perfect.
that's gonna be the title of this, the weight episode.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Mudsdale is 2,000 pounds.
It's what? You're joking?
Yeah,
What?
it's like almost as heavy as Groudon.
Is this a bit? You're
No,
joking.
no. The heaviest Pokemon is Cosmoem at 1,000 kilograms. Then it's Celesteela at the same. Then it's Primal Groudon, Groudon, Mega Metagross, Mudsdale, and then it's Guzzlord.
Bro weighs 2,000 pounds. Huh. Today I learned.
Big boy.
Yeah.
And also he's 5.5 meters tall.
Mudsdale? Or Guts?
No.
No, Guzzlord. I knew Guzzlord was. I thought you meant Mudsdale. Holy.
No, Mudsdale is 2.5. That's still pretty tall for a horse, I think.
2.5 meters tall?
Yeah.
That's pretty tall. I don't think most horses are. How?
No,
I'm
not
Googling
most.
it.
Some for sure. I think, yeah, horses can definitely get taller than that, but it's pretty tall.
Bro, the average Arabian horse is 1.4 to 1.6 meters.
Yeah, but those are tiny. Have you seen like the big horses?
How tall is your average horse? Larger riding horses are hands. They measure these in hands? This is deeply unserious. 1.63 to 1.83 meters.
Really? No.
This is the horse episode. Yeah.
But they're taller than that. I've seen taller horses. Maybe I was smaller at the time, actually.
Yeah.
I might have been smaller at the time.
Yeah, did you think they were taller because your perspective was like a meter shorter? Okay. Good talk. All right. With that, let's talk about our last nomination for the week. We had Crooks Eevee nominated. Now, for those who don't know, Crook has a team of all starters, and Eevee is technically a starter from Let's Go Eevee. And Eevee has put in work in one of Crook's games and gotten 2 kills, which honestly, for an Eevee, absolutely more than I would have expected. So what set was Crook on? Let me take a look. It was a banded set, right?
Choice band and a bunch of funny moves. Hold on.
Double edge, retaliate, return, and quick attack.
Exactly. With adaptability, of course.
Yeah. That's what ties it together, right? Is Eevee gets adaptability.
Yes.
Your normal stabs are crazy. I mean, crazy, it might be overselling it a little, but yeah, shoutouts to Crook for absolutely getting kills with Eevee. Which I have never done myself, so mad respect. I believe it killed...
Can't say I've done that before.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's done it while being the leader of the league right now.
Yeah, he's first place
not
right
wrong.
now. So, shoutouts to the starter team, first place.
Looking at the standings in general, anything you're surprised about?
Me being so high. Maybe I just have imposter syndrome. I don't know.
You're just so scared of me.
I'm scared of everybody, man. I have like no confidence.
Fair, very fair. No, it's just scary teams all around, really.
Yeah, for real.
There isn't like a single team which I'm like, yep, that's a pushover.
Yeah, everyone's scary. That's what we were finding trouble with in PRs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we liked every team pretty much.
I mean, it helps that Natex has so many cool mons, and there's still a bunch of unpicked mons that are really cool.
Exactly. That's what I love about Natex, man. I'll never go back to Paldea.
I still prefer Paldea, but yeah.
I don't know, man. To each their own. I'm not
Exactly.
I'm not blaming anyone who likes Paldea, but I personally will not be touching it again. I cannot stand how aggressive it is. I'm surprised you like it with how aggressive it is.
Is just less mons, so you have to get more creative.
Yeah, but you have fewer tools. You can get less creative.
That's the opposite, but I still think it's, especially if it's low tier Terra, it just gives more of the spotlight to really goofy mons.
Yeah.
Which otherwise you would have to go out of your way to do.
That's pretty true. I think I just played too many low tier Terra leagues and speed tours and stuff, and I just got sick of it.
That's very fair. And speed tours, I don't think I would enjoy that much.
Mm-hmm. I just ran speed tours to death, right?
Because it does. The thing is, with such a limited pool, it does get a little repetitive.
Yeah, I think that's the point I hit that you might not have hit.
Every team has that one expensive pick it's built around, right? And there's only that many you can actually pick.
Yeah, exactly.
And then once you've picked everyone once, it's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I have not gotten to that point yet, and
that's why I don't blame you for
DLCs definitely helped with that.
That too, yeah.
Pre-DLC was definitely a lot more of a struggle as well.
Mm-hmm. There was just so much less in the game.
Absolutely, it's crazy to look
still
at
has
it.
a bunch of mons now in the game. It's close to NetX. It's not fully NetX, but
I mean, a lot of the NetX advantages also megas and the weird regional forms that are definitely not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, and the what do you call it? Ultra Beasts.
Yeah, the Ultra Beasts. I want to see those guys come back. I just like them a lot, all of them.
I was surprised they didn't, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Maybe, no, I don't know why they didn't bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because they did bring back the Necrozma forms of the Solgaleo, right? Didn't they?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, man. Dusk and Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are. Yeah. I know they didn't bring back the Tapus for VGC, right? They didn't want those in VGC. I'm pretty sure is why they didn't bring those back.
I mean, they have all the terrain still in the game, even though the setters are questionable at best for some of them, and very unbalanced in general. But yeah, would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Because they're really fucking good. So,
yeah, they are.
And they just do not balance for singles anymore. So if they keep them out for specifically VGC, I understand why. Yeah. So that's our call out. Pokemon Company, bring back Ultra Beasts and Tapus. And
mainly Ultra Beasts.
Yeah, mainly Ultra Beasts, actually.
Mainly Guzzlord, actually. Just keep out the other ones.
Actually, please don't bring back the Tapus. Hold on. Yeah, don't.
Some more Guzzlord trivia. In the main series in the anime, Shiny Guzzlord has an appearance, which, if you know what Shiny Guzzlord looks like, I would be pretty surprised. Why would you know that?
I do not.
It's white and orange.
What?
Yeah, the yellow part turns orange.
What the fuck is this, man? They just be making anything.
They really do be making anything. I think on that note, it's time to call it.
Yeah, on that sick Guzzlord fact, I think that's time to call it. So thank you everybody for listening. Much shorter than last time because we didn't spend 2 hours doing PRs, but this is about when you can expect future episodes to be lengthwise. So thank you, Sheep, for coming on, hanging out.
Yep,
and thank you all for watching. Hope you all have great weeks in the WDL.